So guys, today 3 p.m. we saw Nifty fall 130 points. Amongst various reasons you must have heard, not one would be convincing. I'll give the reason behind this. The reason behind this is sudden spike in the dollar index. This dollar index has been correcting pretty sharply after the US Fed Chairman Powell's rate decision and his speech. What made it go up today? Massively up. Just check the scenario here. The only reason behind spike in dollar index is the Japanese yen. Today the Japanese central bank maintained its dovish policy. They refused to hike interest rates. They refused to cut their QE program. That led to Japanese yen collapsing. And don't forget, Japanese yen is at 24-year low versus the USD. Japan actually suffered a lost decade after 1990, and it continued till about previous 4 to 5 years. So more than 20-25 years, the stock market of Japan, the Nikkei, the main bellwether index, it suffered because most of the manufacturing moved from Japan to China post 1990, and it led to the rise of China. Although Japan as a country, as an economy, as a population, they are extremely developed and extremely rich, but there was no growth, and all the money in the world chases growth. It doesn't chase wealth. Money chases growth. So most recently, since 4 to 5 years, Japanese economy has been doing fairly good. Japanese companies have been investing globally. One of the biggest names is SoftBank. They have invested everywhere, including in major companies in India. So Japan doesn't want to hurt its economy and doesn't want to hurt the liquidity that has been pumped into the economy. That is trillions and trillions of dollars of dollar equivalent of Japanese yen. So because of this sharp spike in dollar index after the Japanese central bank decision, there was a collapse in Nifty 130 points at 3 p.m. Similar thing has been observed in Dow future, which has been extremely strong, more than 250 points up during the day, and suddenly it collapsed. Although there was some data as well about 15 to 20 minutes back on the US manufacturing, which came out poor. So this strength in dollar index actually wreaks havoc across global markets, including the United States. So this is one of the most important parameters to look at when the markets are in troubled times. So this dollar index has been going up since the COVID fall. You can just check here. Still the markets were up till October 2021. But when the market started to fall post the inflation wreaked its serious form, and inflation is actually due to bad policies of the US president. When the earlier president Donald Trump left office, he did a handover of $30 of oil to current president Joe Biden, and then he wreaked havoc on the energy field across coal, oil and gas and all the fossil fuels. he stopped their funding, and he stopped the construction of oil pipelines. He stopped funding for coal exploration because a lot of cost. It takes billions of dollars just to explore for these fossil fuels with success ratio at a minuscule level. So all of these big explorations depend on funding. So funding was stopped. The infrastructure that is required for exploration and transportation, production, transportation of and refining of the fossil fuels, all of that was given a big setback by the current president. So the oil shot up from $30 to $90 from the day President Joe Biden took over till about October, November. So oil tripled 3 times. Fertilizer prices were going up because of lack of gas supply, because there is a gas feed in fertilizer production. Coal prices shot up. And how big the coal prices shot up, I'll give you an example. Coal has various benchmarks, but the most important benchmark which the global communities follow is the Newcastle coal price. You can see the spike from here. So post-COVID recovery, the economy recovered, coal price also recovered, but then it had collapsed in the mid of 21. You can see the gap down there, but then suddenly it went up from around 140, 150 to straight away to 435. This is Newcastle coal, Australia. So these are various parameters to look at to understand how the stock market works. So in distress times, the most important parameter to look at is dollar index. Unless this dollar index cools off, every rally is under threat of a massive sell-off. So by massive sell-off, I mean if the markets are up, say 70 points, so they'll fall twice of that. So this is the scenario as of now. So please take care of these parameters. Take a look at them on a regular basis. The most important is dollar index. There are few more parameters to look at, including bond yields, but the bond yields have been coming down post the US Fed rate cut decision and Powell's speech. So everything was in favor of the bulls, or for the trader who is looking for a recovery. But this dollar index today wreaked havoc across global markets. There was massive sell-off. Only reason being the only culprit being the Japanese yen. So now US markets have opened and they are slightly up around 80 points. So Indian markets seem to have come to a level of exhaustion, selling exhaustion. So people and institutions have kind of exhausted their abilities to sell or their willingness to sell. So we can see some peace at these levels going ahead, but that doesn't mean the market is not vulnerable to sell off. So on the Nifty front, we need to be extremely careful in booking profits quickly. So this is the gist of the video. Today we spoke on the importance of dollar index and what made it go up sharply today. That is the Japanese central bank, which is called as Bank of Japan. Thank you very much.